I could always make that Nazi joke I made, Matt.
And that's when the mic went hot.
Oh my
And we're canceled.
Yeah. Well, I did not see that coming.
Are we the baddies?
She did not see that coming.
God, take Rich. Too good.
Okay.
Yep.
I think my sheet is fixed now.
Hey,
Hold on, you got all this.
wir sind die Bosse Jungs.
Please, no, I can't do it.
David went and made all these comments.
It is now day 46. 2 days in the 2 days. 2 weeks in the future. Otherwise known as April 15th. Because this actually has the Earth calendar.
Oh fuck, it's tax day.
Shit.
Well, it's a good thing I don't have to worry about those.
Yeah, Nessa doesn't pay taxes.
How do you?
What?
It's tax day. That could be very bad for me. I've got a bunch of money that I was given by an unscrupulous source, and I'm a good person.
If you want, Nessa will do your taxes.
Yeah, no.
She's been learning. She's been watching YouTube tutorials and everything.
You're not
Yeah,
Sheldon.
Anyways.
It would be different if Midnight offered to do his taxes, but Nessa absolutely not.
I feel like you have a better chance with Nessa doing them than Midnight.
Well, you do have your bodyguard who's an adult who can file taxes and might help you. You also have collateral damage, who we have an acquaintance with.
My bodyguard, who may or may not actually have papers to be in the country. I don't know.
I
if
don't know that.
I'm pretty sure he told me.
Circle.
Did you say if you had? I'm trying to remember what you told me in the thread. I'd have to go back and read it.
But tell you
He has
what,
papers. He is official.
Okay.
He is clean.
He has a legal identity and has to pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, back inside.
Okay. So with these 2 weeks, I know what Nessa is having work being done on.
On top of having 3 different threads.
hey, a matter of 2 weeks, I could do most. She did. If anybody looked, well, no, the first week, Midnight was incognito. There was no crime, like no extra thievery with Midnight. Midnight used that first week to just rest up because teleporting a giant ass dragon, it hurt. It hurt quite a lot. No. She was like, I'm just gonna use this week to rest. But there are tons and tons of stealing, like that second week though. So Nessa would have been Nessa the whole first week, and would have been Nessa in the Nessa up. So yeah.
Sadaka would have been looking for Nessa to be available for a concert and dinner during that time pass. Would he be throwing the LMD at him?
It would have been the first week or the second week.
Concert would have been the first week. The dinner would have been the second.
No, Nessa likes food. So she would have been there for dinner, and then made an excuse like, oh, Daddy needs me to swing by and help him with his taxes.
Sadaka has text you over that. He could send someone over.
No.
He probably actually has really good accountants, to be fair.
Actually, his accountant definitely could get him out of the issue, but
yeah. She'll make some excuse and be like, "No, I'll be home before midnight." But and she definitely would have been there for the concert because she would have found that the concept of listening to music in a venue that wasn't like a charity event very interesting, and would be like, "Why do people stand outside and listen to music?" So she 23836. So she would have gone to the concert thing.
Okay. Olympus or rather Jason, is there anything that I guess either would be doing in particular for the 2 weeks?
Jason, as Olympus, assuming that the thread with Midnight happens the first night or the second night, he's going to be doing a training montage.
Yeah.
For a couple, not midnight is.
Yeah, Nessa would have
train with him.
Yeah.
Okay. So they'll be training on top of it's April, so getting ready for final exams.
Oh yeah, it's tough finals.
Let's see. Now I have to ask an important question. Are you going to be a dick with the test and ask intentionally obtuse questions that is only tangentially related to what you specifically covered?
There is no final exam for most of Jason's courses. It's typically a paper or a project presentation, university level stuff. You wouldn't do a test. It would be either a paper on a. He probably would have, like, for his entry level class, which would be the only one that matters right now, because that would be the one Justin's in. It would be a paper on a Greek myth of your choosing. And yeah, that sort of stuff.
Cool. So, training montage, getting ready for your equivalent of exams. Anything else?
Not much. I mean, spending time with family. Probably, like, again, he's trying to spend a lot of time with both Nessa and Jessica right now, especially, like, with all the craziness that's happened. Like, after 2 weeks, he's going to be like, okay, things are starting to go back to normal. Maybe we don't need to move out of Ruth Bay.
Okay, cool.
By the way, I answered all of your comments. On my thing. Basically, all of those are just with these powers are all the comm manipulation powers. So the total to them is what you determine the difficulty to roll against. So I just put uncontrollable on most of them to lower the difficulty.
Oh, actually, the uncontrollable increases the difficulty.
What?
Uncontrollable increases the difficulty.
Uncontrollable increases the difficulty to use it, not to activate it. It lowers the difficulty to activate it. Because it changes the price of a rank of the power.
Gotcha.
So it increases, like, the ability to use it, but it decreases the cost of the power.
Gotcha. No, I got what you mean. Okay.
And then the only power I don't think I can actually use uncontrollable on is luck after rereading it, so I changed that one to short circuit.
Yeah, that's why I had the question about it. Okay.
Which would be pretty rotten luck if you activate the luck power and it short circuits. Oh. Cool. I'm glad to delete all these.
Okay, sounds like that's what's going on there. Near the, yeah, okay. Justin.
Mm-hmm.
What is Justin doing for the 2 weeks?
Well, apparently part of that I'm spending writing a paper.
Papers are due. Now, if you had come out and told Jason, who you now know as Olympus, hey, by the way, I'm Wolf Spider, nah, he still wouldn't have been lenient on you. But, like,
Might have been able to get an
Papers
extension
due.
out of him.
yeah, you might have been able to get, like, an extra week.
So, okay. We're writing paper, apparently. Got band stuff that, got to work on. Meals is currently under construction, so in theory don't have to do that, aside from maybe making a couple social media roles. Obviously wolf spidering.
Okay.
So it doesn't sound like I have time for anything special. Not that I had anything special coming to mind anyway, so...
Well, up. Go get in your bed. Yes, my dog now has a twin bed that is her bed. Up. Get in your bed.
This is definitely a case of doing stuff to lay the groundwork for other stuff later.
Okay.
So basically, Justin is hurry up and waiting.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Collateral.
Matters.
So I am dealing mostly with two things.
He was bad.
The first one is going to be, as the only publicly known hero here, dealing with the PR of, Godzilla and mutant monsters raining down on the city. Because if they're going to ask anyone for questions, they're going to ask the person they know was there.
I mean, I know both of those are there, and I do occasionally stop and talk to the press if they can catch me, but... Yeah, you're the only one in the phone book.
Yeah, I'm the only one in the phone book.
I mean, they can message me in the app, but...
So, I'm probably dealing with the public nature of the aftermath of what happened. Combining that with using my government contacts to make the problem go away. I'm retired, damn it. And then other than that, it would be a montage of me increasing my reflexes, increasing my marksmanship, increasing my piloting with my mech, and starting a business.
What kind of business?
Heroes for hire.
Ah,
No. I haven't determined the nature of the business yet, but I'm going to do that because I'm increasing my funds.
okay.
But that's really all my 2 weeks is. You're not going to find me unless it's in apparently a PR stunt by the government, because the government did jack shit. So they're probably going to use me as a scapegoat and public figurehead for them.
Okay.
But yeah, that's really it. I'm going to stay out of the way. I want to have silence, peace and quiet, and train, build stuff.
Okay.
But being the only person that they can get a hold of and can find where I live, because I'm in the phone book,
Gotcha.
I have the paparazzi to deal with.
Okay.
Which I will make the effort to improve the public perception of me.
Cool. Part of me wants to read that as spending XP to take away infamy.
Not yet. I'm making the efforts and trying to go in that direction.
He's laying down the groundwork.
I'm saving puppies. Um, hey, also, something that some people may or may not be aware of, I assume Jason would be just because it's university related. Dr. Lane and Wells would have taken those 2 weeks to kind of rebuild and refine the Neomed Mender, increase, the rivet and bolt strength given what happened last time.
Oh, you just reminded me what I was going to do with my business. Thank you, David. It involved those two. Thank you for a reminder.
You're welcome. Alias.
No one is here but Alias.
What is Alias slash Felix gonna be doing? I assume some of that is going to be continuing his research.
Yes, splitting that between also, I guess, occasionally watching over Nessa much more now, because now we can actually train her, because he will take you up on that offer midnight, because
Awesome.
rather protect it, and he gets you're a fighter. You're not a fighter, but he will still be like, yeah, you don't have to be you don't have to be a fighter. You just have to maneuver people into a wall and let them punch themselves for you.
Huh. You also would have found out from Jason that he was going to be training with Nessa.
Yep. Nessa specifically.
Well, he would have just said, "Oh yeah, I'm going out to go training with my daughter. You know, the one who has the ability to go and read minds." We had a discussion, and she knows I'm Olympus now, so we're going out to go train.
Cool.
At least this training is not going to consist of the Cobra Kai method.
But anyways, other than the usual Alias business of poking around in places where you shouldn't in certain shady businesses, or kind of tipping off police of where people are, things of that nature, and also getting those new things that I messaged you about. Yes, very much looking more into that research, especially since, the hyperinarian's an issue, and that's one of the things he's focusing on, but I haven't forgotten about that fucking mage who keeps popping up.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, and we're constantly going to be running more and more mages, and I want to be pressed, goddammit.
Sounds good. Momento.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I cannot type. I cannot type at all today. I was typing things earlier, and that wasn't typing out either. Not in words, anyway.
Words that we did not recognize. Oh no! Not the bad luck!
Oh, you just saw that?
Yeah. I just popped over to make sure of stuff because, cooking dinner and all that.
I doubt it means anything because I just rolled that on my own, but for bookkeeping purposes, I noted it.
Actually, you know what? And this is a small thing. I don't know if you'll allow this to be possible, but if that social media pops up and Alias/Felix sees it, it just kind of magically disappeared. I wouldn't like to make it magically disappear. So that way it never happened.
I don't know if that's a bad tweet or, I was, swinging and tweeting and, Jolt blew up my phone or what the deal is, but...
My thought is you went to post something, but then someone hacked your account and rewrote it to be something really mean.
There you go. In which case, yeah, probably Felix's people can fix it. This is why you keep your text receipts.
Yeah, and later on, Justin will see was like, wait, where'd that go? What? So, and it's like anonymous message. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing.
Okay.
God damn it! I just realized Alias is going to turn to the Shadow Wizard money game.
Okay.
Shadow Wizard, what now?
The Shadow. Don't worry about it. It's
No, I just want to
silly.
make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah, Shadow Wizard money gang.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I did send you a thing concerning your research.
Cool. 1 second. That was really close. These things are a little hot.
I'm gonna kill if I type in. I can't type. Thank you, spell check. Okay, so that. Oops.
I guess when Alias has free time, he will definitely want to investigate those.
Okay. Okay, well, with people doing their various projects over the time span of time, which doesn't involve any major events. Read major as city scale. Collateral, since I know you generally keep tabs on the ongoings on the street, as it were. Can you make me a streetwise roll, please?
I would have actually made an effort to say I'm not doing that for these 2 weeks.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that included, not having your ear, checking the
Nope,
pulse.
I am trying to not be seen as collateral damage at all unless I can help it.
Okay, gotcha. So complete none yet. Okay, cool, not a problem.
I am like a ghost for these 2 weeks.
Gotcha. Okay. That's not a problem.
I hope you weren't expecting me to be just the standard I know everything Batman.
Oh, that's fine. I have I have alternatives. It's fine. Jason.
Yes.
Rebecca Bay, which, if I remember correctly, is still your assistant. You haven't really fired her or anything.
I don't recall if there was a reason to fire her.
Testing 1, 2.
Neither,
We hear you.
neither do I.
Okay,
I just
you
know
guys.
that sometimes folks can go be like, "Oh, I had that person, or that didn't happen." or that did happen.
No.
Okay, cool.
I recall hiring her.
Right.
She's still my assistant.
In that case,
She's very explicitly a lab assistant. Like, I don't have her help out with like the papers and stuff. Like, I have her help with research, specifically on archaeological digs. So I'm not making her do what most professors do, which is like, once they reach that level, they're like, oh, you know what? Just grade the papers for me. Jason grades his own papers.
okay. Okay, in that case, that fortunately does not interfere with what she's about to do. Given Boris's interests, as far as she is aware, she will.
David, sorry. I did remember something that I did do very explicitly, even though we didn't actually do, because originally that was supposed to be the thread that Jason and Nessa were going to do. At some point, like one of the weekends, Jason would have gone to Chase to go down to New Orleans to find some magic practitioners to find an anti-magic rune or something to put in his office.
All right.
Sorry. I recall saying that at the last session that I was going to do that. So it shouldn't be completely out of the wild.
I recall you saying you wanted to do that, yeah. Was that a streetwise role or something? Is magic known in this setting?
Well, in the same way that we have, like psychics, or the person that deals in witch doctor stuff. The same kind of thing of it's unsubstantiated. What was it like? Oh, that's the new age thing, or that's the pagan market over there. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I can do like
I would unless you have a particular thing in mind, I would need then a investigation roll to see what level of credibility you can find.
That one. Well. Good news, I found an item. Bad news, it's probably cursed.
I mean, it's yours.
Yeah, that's not our problem. It's making our problem.
You're able to find a elderly individual, burns a lot of incense in their shop. Their shop does seem rather occult, and if you are looking for items that will disrupt baleful magics and spirits, there is a particular item made out of crystal, obsidian, and bone that is circular, and is reminiscent in very general terms, reminiscent of a Dreamcatcher and overall design, except that the interior is a weaving of, again, obsidian, very particular crystals hanging off of it. The crystals have a jagged ends to it. The interior weave also has what appears to be small bones as some joining points in the obsidian interior work of the circle. The beads on one side that's designed to have it, hang off of a hook or however you like to hang it for its use are tiny stones with string through it. But these stones, according to this individual, were rubbed smooth in consecrated waters.
Okay.
Allegedly it will absorb a magic in the air, is what he claims.
What does she want for it?
I was about
A
to
cherished
say money's but I need considering you're
My
using
second.
funds
My
here.
second. Does she want my second child?
I volunteer as tribute.
We'll get you back, Nessa. Don't worry.
I mean, she'd probably stay around
Jason.
for 5 minutes and then get bored and just teleport away. No cell in the universe can hold me. Handcuffs it though, but like in the bedroom.
So only sexy handcuffs can hold you.
Yes, only sexy handcuffs can hold me.
$852, as there's some things this person was putting their eye on, and when that requires money, so they will accept the money. That is a moderate funds roll. Alternatively,
I'm listening.
with perhaps unsettling interest,
Uh-oh.
either a small vial of your blood, or it sounds like Nessa's blood.
Yeah, $852 is a fair price. What is the thing that you're supposed to roll for funds? Because I don't actually have.
That's your
on my
funds
sheet.
attribute.
Yeah, you should have a skill / attribute called funds. If you have not calculated that,
I'm flipping back to that now. And it's probably going to be pretty high for you, given your new stats.
Interesting fact, Nessa's terrified of needles. So whenever she gets hurt to the point where she needs like IV fluids or whatever, Jesse puts her to sleep with some Benadryl
Okay,
and
so
just takes the needle out before she wakes up.
all right, so it starts at 3D. You gain 1D
Okay.
if you gain 1D if you have 4D or higher in presence.
Okay,
You gain 1D
Check.
if you have 4D or higher in knowledge.
it does, so those are plus ones.
check.
Well, it says it starts at 3 and then upgrades by 1, and then that number converts into dice when you become a character.
Oh, I didn't realize you converted into
Okay.
dice.
Yeah. And then for, if you have 8D or higher in the business skill, you gain another 1D.
Does that include the base knowledge?
I believe that you actually have to have a rank in the skill.
Yeah, you need to actually have spent
Okay.
some amount of points.
So if you don't
Yeah,
have rank in
nothing
business,
in
I believe you would have funds of
I
5.
have 8D knowledge, but
Yeah, it's not.
5D funds.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
rolling 5D then.
And then if you have wealth or anything, it goes up further.
Okay. I knew that because I think I had it on Dom's sheet at one point, but Brian never actually used the funds
No, Brian uses
for
actual money.
anything.
This is the first game we've played where we actually use the fun stat. Because
Oh, wait, why am I
we're playing
clicking into
OpenD6 correctly this time.
Okay. Aphrodite. Oh, that's going to be sick in my head. I cannot wait for the 30th. Then I'll stop quoting. Oh, look at that. An exploding power die. 4 6s on the first roll.
You have plenty.
Okay.
Plenty available at the moment.
Makes sense. I mean, if I didn't have enough money available, I had Nestle with me. Probably would have been like, oh, here, Daddy.
Yeah, she
Just
probably
stick
would have
his
brought
credit
it
card.
for you. Yeah, she would have just brought it for you.
No, I wouldn't let you.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't let me, but she would have done it regardless.
You would just have it whether you wanted it or not.
Yeah. She would have seen that you wanted it. She would have thought the item was weird. Not
Yeah.
understanding why
And
you
then-
need a magical item. Because in Nessa's head, magic is evil, thanks to her dad.
She would have taken it back and probably handed it to. Oh my gosh, this is probably a terrible idea, but he's going to hand it to Rebecca to do tests on to make sure that it is in fact legitimate. Rebecca is my assistant's name.
Yeah, Rebecca May is her full name.
Yeah.
So you're basically
Yeah,
wanting it
just-
tested to see if it is actually made out of like real material and such.
Yeah, see how old it is and if she can trace any origins on it. Or see if it's just a gimmick that I just spent $852 on.
Okay. Okay. And that's something you would have done during the
During the
time
time
skip?
skip. So,
Okay.
so by whatever time she's coming to me, she would have already had this.
Protection. Uh, okay. Okay, Recommend is able to identify this as the Kinyuk. It is meant for protection against against curses, evil spirits, people who use their dying breath to have baleful things happen to you. Protect against that kind of stuff. This particular Kinyok is approximately 550 years old.
Mm.
The material it's made out of is genuine. The oldest piece being the bones, as it looks like the 500 years old, 550 years old, is the outer ring part, which may have been replaced over time because those bone pieces that are used as the obsidian conjunction points are 1,200 years old.
Oh wow. Interesting. Oh. I think for now I'll just keep it in my office. It's a little small to be a museum piece.
Okay. I think this is the first time you've actually had someone roll funds.
I think it's come up one other time, but because I had to roll funds to buy the building.
Gotcha.
And you haven't made me roll funds yet, just saying that I will at some point have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me. You said I've had to, but I haven't had a reason to do it yet.
Gotcha.
Well, that's too cute.
Actually, you made Greg do it. You made him roll gadgetry and funds as well.
Ah, true.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have the toys on my desk anymore, apparently.
Let's have what on your desk now?
I got a bunch of figures on my desk I'm playing, sitting here playing with while I'm waiting for my turn.
But
And I, discovered silly poses I can do, and I sent Sierra a picture of one.
Yeah.
Yep. In terms of the present, Rebecca May will inform you that it's maybe slightly outside of your expertise. There is a artifact going to the being set in the Roulette Bay's museum, which allegedly has on it a map of where the gods have walked. At least that's what the publication is stating. This item would have been, according to the information you're able to find, would have been found by a Sorry, just the name. A Dr. Robert Whalen.
Don't we
Are you trying to have
Whalen?
a Aurelian and Wayland Yutani at the
I'm
same
about to say,
time
is
here?
his assistant named Utani?
You are familiar. You are familiar with the name Jason as it is a he's a fellow fellow archaeologist, though um, has not published anything in the last 10 years, or more specifically, hasn't published anything of substance in the last 10 years.
So let's just pretend that halfway through that I got distracted. What's the short thing? Because I came back to there's an archaeologist who hasn't posted in 10 years, but I might have lost like 90% of the middle.
It was just the name of the guy. And I was making a joke about the name of the guy.
Dr. Robert Whalen. May or may
Dr.
not be a
Robert
part of Whalen Yutani.
Okay. So, and what was he tied to though?
Oh,
That's where I got lost.
He was tied to a artifact that the local museum is going to showcase. Specifically, the pamphlet. The pamphlet. The publication says that the artifact contains a map of where the gods have walked.
I obviously am going to ask the little voices in my head if such a map would exist. And is it a Greek artifact? Like, what's the nature of the artifact? Aztec? That would be cool. Aztec gods? Norse
No,
gods.
it would not be cool to have Aztec gods right now. I do not want sacrifices, ripping people's parts out of their chest.
That information from what Rokame was able to find is being intentionally withheld on request of Dr. Robert Whalen, as he will be making a appearance on the official day of display to possibly aggrandize himself, but also give information. That being said, as a member of the scientific community, at least with more official access than perhaps Rokame has, there are databases you can access to possibly find more information.
I have official access on my character sheet. I spent points on official access.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I imagine the archaeologists have a similar shared information pool that that the astrophysicists do, in that there's like a large databases they can access with information on like colleagues and projects and stuff like that.
I'm sure there are, but Jason, being curious, what day is the unveiling supposed to be?
The unveiling is going to be at the end of the week.
Okay. Jason would reach out to if it's going to be at a museum here in town. Jason would reach out to the museum director and probably try to see if he could get a sneak peek at the artifact.
Oh, Nessa wants to come.
I'm not even telling Nessa that such a thing exists.
No.
Very pointedly not telling Nessa. Nessa's friends with Midnight. At a best case scenario.
Like Midnight, guess what? Whisper, 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 whisper. Earlier today, this museum was robbed.
Yeah. So, not telling Nessa anything about it. But yeah, I would ask at least the director if I could, once the artifact arrives, because I assume it would arrive like a day or two before, see if they needed any help with outside verification on the artifact, just a second hand, especially since the university had a scandal recently where a prominent businessman was said to have found an artifact which was a fraud. Fraud in which I uncovered.
Okay, so you have speak and verification. Okay. It's projected arrival time on site is 48 hours. The last they check the tracking on the package, but they have they're already in the process of doing things like preparing extra protective measures and such.
Of
When it
course.
gets here, in terms of you offering to what was it, third party verification? I believe is how you phrase it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The curator is familiar with you by reputation and knowing that you do occasionally visit the museum, maybe not having personally met you. I'm not sure if Jason himself would have. Would he have actually straight up
because
met the guy?
I imagine that I've donated stuff from the Temple of the Gods
Okay, that's fair.
that I found to the museum here locally. On
Okay.
top of most of it going to museums and free.
True. That's right, because you have the belongs in the museum.
Yes.
Okay.
But I imagine I'm on a first name basis with the guy.
Yeah, in which case, then, yeah, you most certainly you most certainly would be allowed to once it arrives on site.
Excellent. Felix, in a couple of days, we're going to the museum to investigate an artifact. Probably nothing.
And what artifact is this, sir?
I would tell him about the artifact, which might have a map of where the gods have walked.
He goes very silent for a moment, looks around, makes sure no one else is around.
Where's he? Where were you having this conversation?
I don't know. Where would we have this conversation with Jason?
Probably in my office, because it would have been after I got off the phone. Well, it depends, because if you were with Nessa most of the 2 weeks, then maybe at the house.
No, it's occasionally he would be with Nessa. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know if other bodyguards are around or anything.
Yeah, but at the house, I mean, there's probably just one or two that are on duty at any given point. So,
I
and Jason wouldn't have told you in front of other bodyguards, just because he doesn't want it getting leaked and risk midnight finding out.
right. Aliens will pop up. Interesting you say that because I've been looking into a few things. It's more than just that. It might be more than it, not necessarily an indication where the actual gods have walked, whoever gods, I don't know, but more of an indication of potently lines of magic.
Of what? Somebody broke us right there. Potently lines of magic.
Yes.
Ooh. Well. Fuck. Then we're going to need everyone.
I have a good suspicion that a certain... Did I categorize her as a mage, wizard, witch, warlock? Did she say what she was, David? The person with the... who unleashed the book demon?
Oh, if you're talking about Darkfire, I believe the samurai referred to her as a trickster.
Hmm. A certain mage gone by Blackfire probably has interest in it, since she also was trying to search your office that one time.
Yeah, that's right. Her. Hopefully, then.
Good, but we don't know.
I did invest in protective measures against her that hopefully work.
Is that what that was? Talisman?
But, oh yeah, we got it on our trip to New Orleans. Along with some delicious beignets and a big old bowl of seafood gumbo.
With the pit stop at the all-men's strip club.
No. No.
She would have begged to go in.
You are underage. No. You can't
She's
get in.
serious about the male anatomy. She has to learn.
You
Would you
can't get
rather her
in.
learn in a controlled environment versus, meeting one of your college students?
I'm pretty sure that if a college student met with you, Sadako would have them killed.
I mean, he'd have to know about them first, but,
I'm pretty sure I would tell Sadako through Felix.
And then the family suddenly goes destitute.
Okay. At the very least, that alias will quietly kind of tell the other members, hey, there is a magical artifact heading nearby. Blackfire might strike again.
Jason would have told you not to tell Midnight. Just as a point of order, because he does not want a risk of Midnight trying to steal the artifact.
Hmm.
We may never get to see the original again if Midnight finds out about it.
Hmm. Right. But yeah, I'll just pass that off quietly.
Okay. And unless there's anything else that you two would like to discuss, I'd like to ship over to Nessa for a moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Nessa, if I remember correctly, you keep contacts, so to speak, to see what's good on the steel in the city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you make me a streetwise roll, please?
Yeah. Hold on. Streetwise. Oh, I should probably dump some dice in that.
Keep telling you.
Well, this time I forgot. My schedule's been busy since the weekend ended, and last week I just totally forgot about this game all in general. Ooh, look at that.
At least I'm not the only one.
$21.
2-1. Okay. You have heard through the
Grapevine.
I was actually thinking grapevine, but I was like, do I want to put like a streetwise spin to it? To the poison vine implies it's toxic. Okay, find the grapevine. You hear through the grapevine that there was a anonymous individual, utilizing the name Buyer 12.
Buyer 12. Ooh,
Buyer 12.
mysterious.
Was looking to. That's not it. That's not it. I have too many. There we go. Buyer 12 is looking to was looking to as a call out for a group of 3 to 4 individuals to plan a heist at the San Malas. Let me see if I can pronounce it on this one. By the way, I always choose things that require me to pronounce things.
It's honestly impressive since we're in America.
San Malas Museum.
Ooh, what's the item in question?
The item in question is a artifact of interest being sent by a Dr. Whalen. However, there is a note that specific details will be revealed by Buyer 12 upon accepting of this contract.
Okay, so Buyer 12 wants me to steal this item for him.
As a part of a group of 3 to 4 individuals. Are you looking into this further? Because this is kind of like something that you've just heard.
So my guy in the chair does all the researching. I go, hey, I got a job. He wants me to do X, Y, Z, and just to make sure it's as close to not a trap as possible. Like sometimes if he goes, nope, it's a trap, she'll be like, no, let's still do it. And let's see if I can still rob them without getting caught.
In that case, this would be you already call him Jesse, so I don't need to use his how do you use his alias?
yeah. OOC. I'm saying Jesse, but if it was people were around, she would say High Noon instead.
Yeah, High Noon will report that it is a real caper versus a trap. However, by the time he finished his research, the requested 3 to 4 people had already signed up for the gig. So you're aware the gig exists, but by the time it was able to confirm everything, it had closed due to people like very quickly kind of signing up for it. The payout, by the way, is, and I'm going to give this in mechanic speak, in meta speak here, is a pool of 66 funds.
Okay, awesome. In which case, since other people signed up, Nessa's not going to sign up, so that way she can try and, bargain for higher. She's gonna say, go ahead and let's prep. We're gonna go steal us, this item. Will's up in 5.
Okay, well, the job is real. He's having an issue finding the location. That could have been. That might have been under some of the specifics will be given upon acceptance.
Okay. Then in which case I will tell him to go ahead and sign us up for it.
Well, it's it already, other people have already signed up for it.
Oh, so it's like once those people are it, nobody else can get entrance.
But by the time he finishes research, people had signed up for it, and the job was then deemed closed by buyer 12. That being said, that hasn't necessarily stopped Nessa before from doing things.
Yeah. She knows it's the science guy, so she's just gonna go to him, read his mind, and find out what.
Dr. Wheeler?
Yeah, she's gonna go straight to Dr. Willen and see what new artifact he has that seems to be like on people's radars.
Hainu knows that Dr. Whalen is currently flying in.
Oh, we will do one better. We will meet him at the airport.
He's not going to be in till provided weird stuff doesn't happen. He's not going to be in until it's Monday in game, so it wouldn't be in till late Tuesday, early Wednesday.
Okay. And buyer 12 wanted us to steal this item before he got in?
Yeah, he wanted basically a plan devised basically wanted it's stolen certainly before it got to display. It won't be displayed until the end of the week, but the item itself will be arriving within 48 hours, according to Heinen's research.
Okay. And then in what case?
You can still plan for it, though.
Yeah. We'll plan for it, and we'll just look for artifacts under his name. I mean, if push comes to shove, we'll try and steal as many of the artifacts under his name as possible. Push not comes to shove. Like, I'm debating if she wants to reach out to Spider and be like, "Hey, you want to help me stop a caper?" But then he might feel some kind of way if she ends up stealing the item. So kind of having to raise.
I'm just going to point this out, by the way, out of character. This is the plot for this episode. You're just going to go steal it and do everything on your own at this rate.
Well, not on her own. She has Jesse. Again, she's trying to weigh the pros on whether or not bringing,
you as a player
doesn't know that it's
Jesse.
plot.
It's just you.
Yes, she doesn't know.
Eric, just let it play out.
She doesn't know that it's plot. She just knows that there's an item that is on the market to be stolen, and there are several people who are going to go steal it, and she has to decide,
No, I hear you. It makes sense. I mentioned that.
She will indeed invite Spider, but will let him know there is a large chance that she will steal the item herself. But she will let him know that, hey, we should probably stop these other people from stealing this item, but just know that there's a chance that I might steal this item.
So I have to stop everyone. Got it.
Not everyone. You could just stop them.
At the same time, Wolf Spider is getting a call from Alias going, hey, we need security on this item.
She will bring Spider in on this. She will also see if High Noon actually wants to tag along this time around. Trying to utilize my sidekick. If not, she would just have him be held off in the Raptors in case she needs to make a getaway, or in case she needs him to swoop in and steal the item really fast.
Okay. Finding doesn't mind helping out, but he would like to find out where this San Melas museum even is.
Knowing Nessa, who's been as I mentioned, who has been purposely casing the museums, would Nessa know where it is? Or is this one of these hidden underground museums that are not known to the public, that only the 1% knows exist?
You're familiar with the Hecate Museum, which is the major museum in Orlet Bay. A San Melas museum. You are unfamiliar with.
Well, unfamiliar as I know where it's located at, or unfamiliar as in I've never stolen from them?
You have not heard of the place.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So, Google, stop Google. Oh, shit, sorry, Google. Cancel Google. Every time I say the G word, my phone does the thingy-majiggy. Okay, so is it possible with a G search that I can find the location of this museum?
So you want to do an internet search for it? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. And I figure internet search will not trigger your phone.
No. And 9 times out of 10, she's using the computers at her base, so, and not her phone. She probably is not aware that her phone has a search function, or that it can search. She looks at cat videos on YouTube and dog videos on YouTube, and she plays games on her phone, and she calls and texts. But that's the it of her phone capacity.
I recommend you watch the why do cats insert behavior here videos. Okay, so you're going to kind of look into that.
Yep. Unless Spider knows where that museum is.
I can flip over to Justin so we can figure out what Spider / Justin was doing, and then this call presumably would come in.
I say, right, we've done 2 weeks at this point.
Yes.
So, for sake of convenience, probably doing a circuit through town just to make sure there's no issues on his way to band practice.
Okay.
Because web travel is the fastest way to travel. Technically, that's a lie. My flight is faster, but gliding is hard.
Okay. You encounter petty crime in the form of, give me your purse, lady.
Oh, cool. People can get webbed to lampposts.
But nothing worse than that, at least on your way.
Oh, cool. Well, that's why we did the police scanner for anything more serious. All right. So, I'm guessing that would not be my urban navigation skill, because the urban navigation skill is purely for traversing city versus knowing where something is, to my understanding.
The navigation skill includes area knowledge. Let me double check. Oh, okay. Yeah, familiar with terrain. Oh yeah, it looks like this is literally navigation.
Yeah, it's the ability to traverse the terrain, not necessarily know anything.
Okay.
Which I was guessing would probably be like Scholar City or, maybe a Streetwise.
And Streetwise is for street knowledge. But is it concerning your band or is it concerning for call?
Well, there was the question about knowing where the museum was, but no, because I know where my band is. That presumably I'm going there to meet them.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then you're wanting this call to happen while you're web swinging.
But it was the thought. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't clear on when you wanted it to happen. I knew we were setting a stage, setting a scene, but okay. Okay. Well, eventually it can be used to research topics.
Oh yeah, but that's actual research versus, do I know it off?
Yeah, do you know it off the cuff? Okay, for the sake of not slowing things down, I will say, I'll say scholar just for lack of.
So probably not, but. And so that's a 6, 8. That's an 11.
11. Okay. You have a particular advantage here that other people don't necessarily. You are a real student, as opposed to being a teacher or a person who occasionally drops by. As such, while you're not aware of specifically the museum, you have heard the occasional mention within the student body of San Malas. You have not heard the specific term San Malas Museum, but you have heard of San Malas in passing among the student body.
Okay. So that at least gives me an idea of where to ask about it, so I can ask the band when I get there, or, it's like, practice. Hey, anybody ever heard of San Malas? Heard a thing might be there worth checking out?
Sam Malas, like the museum?
You got my band practice?
Like that, yeah.
Oh. I thought you were saying it into like the group chat.
No, I said ask my band.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do you keep your practice secret?
Practice.
I mean, no. I mean, we don't advertise it either, but.
So no, I'd be surprised if Dr. Barros popped in your band practice too, but I mean, that's just like in the equivalent of your garage. I guess you could stumble upon it. Okay. Okay, so I'm just having to check your band because people have like all kinds of contacts inside people and such. 1 second. I got you right, Deva? Deva. So the E actually has an accent mark. Deva will try to get Nate's attention. He will seem to not notice, and then kind of she'll kind of like scooch her scooch over and like physically like tap his leg, and that'll finally get his attention. Huh? So Justin had a question about was it San Malas?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate. I've heard you mention it every now and then. It kind of looks a little like he has to actively think about it for a moment, like divorce himself from what he was doing, and then then kind of say, I thought you we're gonna mention it, and what you did. You said it wasn't illegal, and it's like it's not, but it's not exactly a broadcast thing, and she'll like her eyes at Adam, not saying anything, but giving the impression of now I'm suspicious, and Nate'll Nate'll be his fingers will like be keying each other. Obviously, he's not putting air through because he's talking. It's a, and with his offhand, he'll make air quotes. It's a underground, very indie, video game that, shall we say, is a bit different than what's on the market.
So they're doing an exhibit in Fortnite, basically.
What do you want to know about it?
I heard something about an exhibit or an exhibition that was taking place at San Malas. Something about mythology. I thought I might be able to get some extra credit out of Professor Barros if I checked it out, and turned in something on time for once.
Well, I mean, I didn't,
Now I'm just confused.
didn't think it'd be in the experimental stuff. I mean, the, San Malas does, and,
It's like, do they have a museum? Do they have an exhibition?
Chris will wander over. Come on, Nate. Unless your sister's right and this is something illegal, what are you concerned that you're going to fall from the band into some sort of like was it a neat video game obsessed situation? And he's like, no, that's not what's going on at all. It's just it's by invitation only and all that. But I mean, I guess I can talk about it now that I'm talking about it. Some parts of it have very detailed recreations of real things, which I know someone was working on a museum model, but I wasn't very interested in looking at as what exactly they were reproducing.
All right.
If you'd like, you could make a knowledge roll if you want me to maybe give some pointers or something, because you still look a little confused.
So that's another 11.
11? Okay, well, again, that beats it easy. Those are very difficult. The way he's implying recreations is implying like detailed recreations to the point of I steal blueprints off the net to make exacting recreations of things.
Mm-hmm.
Which could imply that you could have a real world museum replicated in exactitude within the virtual environment.
Okay, so there's an exhibition going on at a VR museum.
Wait, I just been sharing something.
Or a video game, it's a video game where they're doing an exhibition in the game. Okay. And this game uses highly realistic recreations.
Just to be clear, I believe Jason only told the information to Felix.
Yes, but Felix had said he was going to disseminate.
And say one, he said he was going to disseminate. Two, Nessa told me that there was a thing that at this museum that there was going to be stolen.
Yeah.
Museums have exhibitions. That's usually what you steal. You don't steal the fixed stuff, which is why I'm not going into all the details they have, but I'm trying to work off what I was told.
Okay. How quickly would Felix have disseminated the information?
Minutes.
Minutes. Okay. In which case, I don't. I feel like I don't need. I feel like What's your Dyson investigation?
Okay, my Dyson investigation. I have 40 in actual investigation, but I have 60 plus 1 in deduction and intuition.
Okay, in which case, with that, given the difficulty, I'm gonna have you roll. Okay. Dr. Whalen, as mentioned, is having a exhibition at the the Willow Bay Museum, which here would be the Hecate Museum.
Okay.
That being said, with the information that was given to you by that name had popped up. Also, the information that Nessa gave in relation to a San Malaise museum. So, given that Buyer 12 wanted a plan and prep work in place for stealing the item, the San Malaise game would, provided that the museum in the game matches the Hecate Museum, would be exacting enough to allow for virtual planning of, say, theft.
Okay, so the heist is happening at the real museum. The dry run training is happening in the virtual reality. That makes much more sense. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So, you need to stop real people from doing a real heist at the real museum.
These guys are playing Payday to actually rob Fort Knox.
Makes much more sense. Alright. Cool. In which case, I just have to watch the real museum for virtual, for people that have been practicing in VR. Alright.
Oh, have or will be.
Yeah. That's it, because there's nothing illegal about them practicing in VR. I can't bust them on that. Cool. So I now know, thanks to that conversation, I know they were doing a dry run practice and doing their planning in virtual reality.
Given the time frame, current tense may be more appropriate.
are currently doing their. Okay.
I only state that because you kind of need to know that what has happened is happening and what will be happening.
Right. So I know where I need to be. Don't necessarily know when we need to be there because we need to get in. Because we don't know when their plan's happening. Which means probably, unfortunately, unless we can actually get that information somehow, stake out. Because especially if the game is by invite only, I'm probably not getting in. Not that getting in would necessarily be of use anyway.
Well, if they're doing their planning within the video game, then staking out the real location will mean nothing because their planning isn't happening. But...
Well, yes, but staking out the real location would be to catch them in the act.
Sure.
Because I can't bust them on planning a heist in a video game. That's not illegal.
No, but if you tell the techie, he most certainly might take an interest in things.
Oh yeah, I will definitely pass the information up the food chain. It's like, hey, this is a video game with suspiciously realistic details of certain buildings and locations. It sounds like they might be planning their thing there. So those who are technically inclined might want to check that out. I will keep an eye on the actual location in the meantime, just in case we got the timing on this wrong and they are either done planning and ready to make a move or, what have you.
So what I'm hearing is a stakeout?
Yep.
I'll bring pizza. And pictures from my New Orleans trip with Daddy.
Including pictures of the sign of that place you won't let me go into.
Especially pictures of the sign of the place you won't be allowed to go into.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, she probably would have tried to sneak into after bedtime, because nobody sleeps in New Orleans, and then be like, "Yeah, let's go peek." And she probably would have been blushing for really hard the next morning, and would have found it awkward to be looking at you.
Collateral. With the 2-week timeship being over, is there anything in particular Collateral would be doing during a Monday?
Nothing in particular. Probably working on an undisclosed, currently covered with a TARP gadget of vehicle scale size in his garage. It might just be a normal car for letting people know. But that'd be what I'd be doing unless someone decides to actually tell me something. That isn't petty theft.
Greg said he clued us all in on the situation, so...
Yeah, I said that isn't just theft.
And then I provided the update for the technically inclined, which I don't know who in the group, who in the group that qualifies as.
I mean, Greg's the gadgeteer. I use mechs and have someone who is my gadgeteer. So,
and I don't know where Matt falls at the moment since he did the rebuild.
Yeah, I'm incredibly smart and probably can figure out how tech works.
I would say if you have a high knowledge, then you are technically inclined.
Plus, I now have machine interface. So,
provided that god is driving, at least.
No, it just depends on if I make the roll. The god who's driving, I get their power for free, and then I can make a roll to use the other powers.
So you don't even have the restriction of who's driving anymore, really.
Well, I never had a restriction of who's driving.
I thought your powers were locked based on who was driving.
No, the boost is locked based on who is driving.
Okay, that's how that was working.
That's still the case. Yeah.
And the personality type.
Yeah. But they had access to all the powers. In fact, now they have access to less powers than they did before because I have to pick and choose which power set I'm going to upload to make the roll when I access comm manipulation to try to not have to switch keep using comm manipulation.
Hmm. And then split your ranks accordingly, yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I have a stupid amount of ranks in comm manipulation. I can only have to do it once.
Okay. Okay, so working on undisclosed item. Gotcha.
Yeah, right now there's rumors of a theft possibly happening in X number of days. I honestly have stopped caring about thefts after having to deal with Midnight for 46 days.
Wait, what?
You and your constant robbing sprees. You have finally tired out the old man about caring about theft.
Oh, okay.
From museums and banks.
And jewelry stores and personal homes. She does do B&Es. Normally of the rich people, though. She robs the rich people. But
There you go.
probably robs her own home more times than than any other place in the city.
So yes, the old man is enjoying his retirement. While the young people figure out if this heist is actually a thing I have to be concerned about. Because I don't have anything to really provide.
I mean, you have the Mark 1 eyeball. You have contacts you could probably work.
Also, random question that I hope doesn't derail too much. Does Eric sound higher in pitch than usual?
A little bit, yeah.
I sound higher in pitch?
Yeah, there's a very faint, like, helium vibe.
Yeah, I've heard it before. Not all the time, but I've heard it before.
Huh.
I just didn't think it was really worth mentioning because I can still understand you just fine. So
Okay, moving on then. I said it was just like, anyways, moving on.
So, yeah, no, I can. You're telling me that they're practicing in the virtual world. I would be completely useless in that.
In the virtual world, yes, but since we don't know when they're moving in the real world, we need to keep an eye on the museum so that, we can act when they do move. While the people who are technically inclined try to get into the virtual world to see what they can learn on that side.
So, the answer is going to be...
Hence the comment of stakeout, or some kind of watch rotation, something.
Okay.
Because I can't be here full-time, you can't be here full-time, Sierra can't be here full-time.
Given that the nature of this being a heist and the fact that they're trying to steal an item before it gets released to exhibit, I would like to use my government contacts along with squad tactics to determine when the best time, as well as when the shipment is supposedly arriving to this museum for this exhibition. And then let everyone know when the best time for such a thing to happen to narrow down when it's going to happen. Can I do that, David?
well, some of the information is already known. Within 48 hours is when the artifact itself is going to arrive. There's a range because, shipping. But your tactical acumen would be good for like trying to guess optimum positioning and stuff like that to prevent an occurrence.
Well, the reason why I'm trying to use my contact with the government, David,
Yep.
is to, instead of having within 48 hours, getting the information for the fact that, unfortunately, things like that get tracked, especially high-value items, more so than what would be normal for, say, if you were to order something from Amazon, it's going to show up within 2 days. You only have a rough idea of where it's at, but Amazon knows exactly where it's at.
Okay, so you're wanting to
using the government to
be more
basically
precise. Okay.
get the exact information versus having the rough estimate.
Cool.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, for a more exact time then, because you're using your contacts, let's see if I remember correctly, contacts, do they have a radio, do they have like a, it's just, because my mind goes to grips with contacts, so I just need to see like occurrence and stuff here. Let's see. Okay, so it's not like a roll to see if they pop up or not. They're just kind of available unless they're not. Okay. But you're using government contacts, which are pretty much always available. Cool. Not a problem. The item will be arriving in 20 hours.
I will share that information specifically with Felix, because Felix is the one who reached out to me and told me most of this information. So I would also like to roll the squad tactics to provide an idea of the places to look at.
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7. And 25. Overconfidence in this is just a flat +3, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, because it becomes dice when it's being a disadvantage, but it's just +3, yeah, so +3.
So I roll a that. And I will share this information and proceed to going back to being an old man until they actually need me somewhere.
Okay, cool. Not a problem.
Right.
So I will just be there when you tell me I need to be there.
Well, I
That's
mean,
exactly what I say.
Even with your thing, we're still going to want to probably stake it out a little bit, so we're still going to need you for that.
That's what I'm saying. I will be there when you tell me to be there.
Okay, so it sounds like that Cladwell's going to be in reserve, but Wolf Spider and Nessa are going to be doing a stakeout at the museum proper.
I would like to cross-reference his intel in terms of his predictions with the professionals' predictions. I.e., from the Nessa perspective, like, okay, if you were conducting this, when would you do it? And where do you think we need to be sitting to keep an eye on it to, under the idea that they're probably going to be trying to bust in?
That's a good question, Nessa.
I'm glad you asked. Normally, I hang out at this museum specifically in the rafters in the dark and just kind of observe everything. You know, sometimes depending on what time of the night or day it is, I will hop down and walk around freely. You know, they never catch me because, you know, I'm too fast for them. Or I move quick enough once they see me in their periph that when they look back, I'm not there. Some of the staff here pretty much think that this place is haunted because of some of my antics. So,
Okay, so if you were going to be, presuming you don't just teleport in, if you were going to be sneaking in, where would you be doing it?
the skyline.
Okay, so we want to be keeping an eye on the roof.
Yeah. Some people might do it like, you know, a la Ocean's 11. Haha, you didn't think I knew that movie, but I did. Where they might, like, try to pretend to be staff.
Okay, so that tells me I probably should be seeing if there are any spiders in there I can borrow vision of to try to keep an eye on people.
We totally can go inside, and it could be like another date night, and we can like carouse, and we can hide when the guards come around, and see who breaks or who gets seen first. Oh, that should be a challenge. We should totally do that.
Yeah, we could totally pretend we're trying not to get caught kissing. Totally.
I think that'd be useful. I guess we can do that, sure.
Yeah.
I guess we're meandering around the museum.
Oh, okay. If you're going to be...
At least until Tech Crew gives us a better idea of what we should be doing.
Yep. Nessa will be marking the items that are new that she has liked. And we'll even see, like, it being a museum, I'm pretty sure there's a prehistoric exhibit there. Yay, nay?
Isn't this the art museum? Or is this a all-purpose?
Oh, the art museum. Yeah, I wasn't sure what exactly this museum was.
This is the Dickinson Museum. It, this month they are, hosting, an exhibit for, artifacts around the world kind of thing. Though Dr. Whalen's thing has kind of taken a bit of the spotlight for those in the circles that would, be aware of his thing. If there is not an active exhibit going on, they will. They generally show a rotating assortment throughout the month, leaning towards foreign art.
Oh, okay. Well, Oh, fine.
So, yeah,
We'll
art
just
museum.
find. Huh?
So yeah, art museum.
Yeah. So yeah, then we'll just look at pieces of art that we like. Mostly statues. We see the art statues. And I'm like, oh, that looks pretty.
Okay. In that case, let me pin up this map right quick. Oh my god, why is it set to 56?
Uh,
Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, things you will notice. There. So, readable. There we go. I do actually have a museum map. If you guys are wandering around, do you want me to switch to it, or just kind of tell you information you can find out by wandering?
I was like, we're just wandering. I don't think we need to see the map yet.
Okay. No, Sierra. This is not going to be the same map that was in that was for the museum in Seven Shadows. It's going to be a different map. You will not be haunted by that place. Okay, looking around, the main exhibit hall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nicely set up. Your keen burglar eyes. What do your burglar eyes see? Note that the walls inside the main exhibit hall are extra thick. The other walls appear to have the same thickness, but it's clearly design fluff.
Uh-huh.
But the walls of the main exhibit itself is legitimately thick with material. And you do note that the door is because at first the exhibit looks like the main exhibit is just a place you just kind of directly walk into, but you do notice that a part of the ceiling and the sides of the walls is reminiscent of certain hidden securities that you have seen before, indicating that there are hidden doors that have retracted into the ceiling and wall respectively. Or frames, rather. Wall frames.
And there's another room behind them, or a group of people waiting to jump out and attack people trying to rob the place behind them.
No, it's currently open, and people who don't know any better just believe that it's a main open area. It's a main open portion of the wall that allows access to the main exhibit area. But you know better. You're recognizing that the wall and the ceiling to the entryway into the main exhibit area is concealing some kind of doors. I will need a roll if you want to kind of try to identify specifically what kind of doors are being hidden. Considering it's an open state. Okay. I would need either a search or an investigation roll. Investigation.
I was gonna say you can stay search in this game.
Say what?
I said you can stay search in this game.
Either a search or investigation roll. Search will have a higher difficulty, but I mean, if you have faith in your eyes.
I'm not very investigative. But I will let Spider know. That's a 10. I rolled a 10. I will let Spider know, so maybe he can deduce what's behind here.
Does my deduction apply or just normal investigation?
It would be regular investigation. Due to your background and not being in D&E, the difficulty will be a little bit higher.
God damn it.
Yeah, that's fine.
My frickin' internet just went out.
So that's a 28.
Wait, it's back. It's back. We're back. We're totally back.
Yeah, because your message just came through.
Silly, unstable government internet.
I'm pretty sure our Wi-Fi router is dying.
Is that issue? Did that come with the place, or do you have to provide that yourself?
We actually, that's the only bill we pay, is the internet.
Okay.
Oh, huh. Oh, I was not.
Yes.
I was not expecting you to roll that well with vampires in place. Okay. You are one level underneath Wolverine Reconstruction.
You see, Uncle Davis really likes true crime heist documentary things. And I've walked by them way too many times. Apparently I absorbed something.
Given his checkered background, that doesn't surprise me. Probably laugh at him going, that's not how it's done. Not that I know anything about that.
Yeah, I feel like he watches it just out of like, they were making it.
There's sitcoms for him.
Okay. These doors, you, actually, I can come at it from this angle. You actually recognize these kind of doors from when you have thwarted things like bank robbery, secure people going after safety deposit information, things of that nature. Because I was so focused on her regular background that no, you say you do things and can possibly have an angle. So you recognize that the inset material in the walls that are actually doors that are being hidden. It looks like that they're slightly offset to where if one goes out and another goes out, they'll overlap. And because there's three, you're looking at three layers that overlap very closely with one another. Mm-hmm. And this would be the equivalent. Now you can't be 100% about the material just because no way you have spider stuff.
Yep, this is what we're calling it now officially, spider stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I know your spider stuff does not allow metallurgical analysis, I will raise it like this.
No, it's something I cannot do. Yeah. As a party member ability, I cannot mimic. When these three doors are closed and layered, each door is of at least steel grade in terms of durability, and it effectively becomes like the protectiveness of a vault door if completely closed. Given Nessa's note of the walls and such, the walls are probably reinforced with similar material, basically kind of ensuring that the main exhibit hall is very secure when the museum is closed. Now, you see, this particular blast door design I learned about when I stopped Jolt from doing. And that modification over there I saw when I stopped Jolt from doing. And you see that little sensor up there? I learned about that one when I stopped Jolt from doing.
Then there are there are a few extra things that you notice. That insulated material has been added after the fact. And that this has nothing to do with the doors, but it is something that you would notice. There are newer nozzles for what look like smaller sprinklers for that would be supplementing, let's say, the sprinkler system, except they visibly look newer. They're they're more freshly installed. And there is a yellow and red striped coloring to them that the regular sprinklers don't have. Does your spider stuff let you even get like writing on tape and stuff?
That's a your call thing. You saw the same video I did. I have the radar sense power, right?
Okay.
I imagine if I was channeling sensitive touch and ran my fingers over it, I could, but
You probably could. Can you make me a perception roll unless you point out you especially want to look at it when it's a research roll?
okay. Perception. Since it's not stealth, so detect would not apply. Okay. 17.
Okay. You notice the taping, and you can see the hints of some of the same kind of taping in other places. With this information, you can figure that this is a secondary system, not exactly a sprinkler system, but system that contains some form of perhaps pesticide, possibly in a response to the recent spider-demic at the university.
See, this is how my city responds to me. I see how it is. It's cool. It's cool.
I didn't know there were so many spiders. Fuck! We have to protect the museum pieces. Which I'm curious about. I can totally see. We have an infestation here that'll affect the money.
Cool. I don't take it personally or anything. No.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like you very publicly show that you control spiders.
There's a lot of things I do that I don't very publicly show I can do.
I mean, my understanding is they don't know that he did it. It's just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I get it. Like I said, which is why I'm not making a big deal about it. He just like, okay, yeah, okay, we have declared war on spiders in my city. Got it.
Why is my J. Jonah Jameson the head of relentless sanitation? It's just a folder, right? City sanitation.
These spider wolves, I, the High Vanarian, have taken all of the spiders out of the tri-state area and have turned them into great chimera-like creatures so you won't be able to communicate with them this time. I will not be bogged down by little mobs this time, little man.
Ah, shit, what was that movie that had those large spiders?
Eight-legged freaks?
Eight-legged freaks, yeah. It makes them eight-legged freak-sized spiders. Makes them Lola-sized spiders, but...
I mean, they're still spiders.
Just get some eucalyptus or peppermint, and then you don't have to worry about spiders.
The real question is, do you have the Peter Parker weakness?
I do not.
Okay.
Mostly because I ran out of disaster.
Ooh, that is the question. If I start wearing eucalyptus, does Spider Wolf start having conniptions? You have to try this.
And I believe in general you were also kind of casing the area for general security?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I channel their strengths, not their weaknesses.
Okay.
Case in point, I'm warm-blooded. They're not.
There are cameras around. These cameras appear to have had added insulation. It's not because of Olympus, it's because of okay. Okay. If Nessa would like to make a actually another question. Could you make a search roll, please? And I can get back to you with that answer in a bit. I've been away from some of the other people a bit too long. Jason and Felix, I believe you guys were unofficially set as the tech team.
Well, they were in theory the ones who had enough skill to go check out the VR thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can assist. I'm just gonna be sitting in my car, like a few blocks away.
One.
But they would be the better people for that. I only have 40 in use tech.
How are you guys wanting to investigate this this San Malaz virtual world indie video game thing?
Says VR.
It was described as as a quote unquote very experimental indie underground game.
Is it online?
If it's online, it's in such a way that is not known to people, because again, it's only been occasionally been mentioned by the student body in passing.
Okay, so because I was gonna go like, oh, VR.
It might be. You guys don't know much about it yet, which is going to be part of what this is. So,
okay.
We are VR.
RVR. Here to give you weirdness.
But I mean, you can do internet searches on it to see what you can find. My interpretation of your question was, could you just essentially go to www.wow.com and find the World of Warcraft equivalent login screen?
No, but I also know Alias keeps an eye on certain things on the quote dark web, and so I figure he might be able to research a few things that way.
Okay.
I don't know if that's because technically it's a little bit of streetwise, but a little bit of investigation.
Yeah, I was thinking because that would kind of be like streetwise dark web almost.
It's very peculiar.
Yeah. Let's see. What is streetwise under? Perception. Well, use tech is under knowledge. You know what? Either.
Okay. Also, to Jason, are we wanting to save this while we're not, us?
I was thinking that myself, like, because we're both secret identities, and
You know what? I think it's. You know what?
we might need to go even more incognito.
Okay. I think I know what the perfect place then. Felix offers his house.
Ooh.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So whenever it's like off the clock, brings you there. It's I don't think Jason has had a reason to go to Felix's house, and he hasn't had a reason to invite people over. The best way I can describe it is like a kind of like a bachelor pad almost, but more mundane. It's a weird vibe. But regardless, Says, you're like, okay, come on, follow me. Down to where the other stuff is. Takes you down to a basement with behind a very secure lock. He kindly asks you to look away for a moment. A security reason.
I will.
He does certain things and opens the door.
Alias and
yep.
guest.
No. He doesn't
I was
have.
thinking of.
Doesn't have
I was
he doesn't
thinking of
have-
the
yeah,
the
he doesn't
mode.
have. Oh, he doesn't have. But yeah, it's and through the basement looks kind of normal. Guns and some other equipment. But after flicking a switch, more robust laboratory equipment pops up. It is level. Where did I put? Like level. It's like state of the art level. Yeah, state of the art level, rank 3.
Has like those tubes in Star Trek that has like those laser beams going through them for no reason because it looks really advanced.
Bullshit laser tubes.
Yeah, bullshit laser tubes, a lot of technical and mechanical devices, blueprints up the wazoo. It's a lot of stuff. But then
Randomly the Necronomicon.
there is a small corner of occult items that is growing. Occult research. But yeah, other than that, just use computers and we'll go from there. Time to do things. And you said Streetwise or Tech.
Yes. And to confirm, this is you searching through the dark web for information?
Correcto.
Okay.
I will assist looking over his shoulder.
You using your knowledge of archaeological dark web stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you know what? Even more. Sometimes it's like, hey, sometimes a fresh eye can be like, hey, what's that?
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Assistance bonus granted, plus 1d.
And for sheer play into it mood, assuming we have it in our universe, the seat Felix sits in is very much like a edge runner from Cyberpunk.
Okay.
So, oh wait, that's right. One more dice because of Jason. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Huh. Oh. Okay.
I don't know whether to be
That's an unfortunate
concerned.
number that I rolled.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Am I about to be spiked?
No, as a matter of fact, you find, um, you find a, link that was being obscured. Unfortunately, there was a pixel that was not cloaked. That your mouse ran over, and
The
yeah.
devil's in the detail.
Because for what it's worth, the initial roll was 38, but it rolled a one on the power die, so issues. Just give you an idea that this is in theory on a level that could potentially beat you, but clearly not.
Still enough to be like, okay, these guys are serious.
Yeah. Okay. Going in, what was obscured was a report on a blog that was that has on it a interview from Daniel Giron speaking about Sandbox. The blog is pertaining to using Sandbox, which is a advanced internet environment. The blogger was not able to identify who created this environment. But this internet environment had enough processing power to, as has been confirmed by your allies here, to be able to produce and maintain like large scale impeccably realistic virtual representation of things. And this dark web blogger was good. Is seeing about how this could be used for various other things, such as planning heists, training individuals for various things, creating very sophisticated 3D modeling for like scientific purposes, and the blog kind of goes into a little bit of detail about based on what this individual was able to tell them about it. The internet logon can be performed through systems with specialized specialized peripheries in and they give a geographical area which would include Roulette Bay. But according to the person they interviewed, this system is accessible by not just requiring the special peripheries, but requires basically special invite codes. The peripheries, however, are listed along with some of the designs. Do note, however, that this blog is 10 years old, and it is implied that the internet structure has been established even before then. This is the first time someone kind of seriously blabbed about it, and so this blogger was like, "Oh, well, I could make money off this with the right, with the right people." Part of the blog, even though you found it, has been somewhat scrambled. One of the areas scrambled is concerning essentially user key information, which could in theory be utilized to make yourself a valid ID.
Okay, cool. So we have a hypothetical in.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you'd like, you could try to salvage the quote-unquote damaged parts of the blog.
Sure. And by the sign of it, this person was given credentials or found credentials themselves?
The blogger or the person they interviewed? Because the person they interviewed was a quote unquote end user of Seminoles. The blogger was not, but they did interview the person.
Interviewer, or no, the blogger.
But yeah, the blogger themselves was not a user, but essentially social engineered as much information as they could from the user for things like, how do you log on? Do you need anything special to log on? How what's the most sophisticated thing you've seen, in the environment? Because the person writing the blog was trying to collect as much information as possible. Because as much in the blog, they were thinking, "Wow, this environment could be accessed and used to its full potential by more more people that had alternative moralities." He could then start selling access keys and make money.
Okay, so it's not completely Thor from Pirate Gaming.
It's not what?
Thor from Pirate Gaming.
Oh.
Huh? I'm a little surprised. I thought either you or Tris may know. Maybe even Eric knew about him. I was like, this guy, social engineering and basically being like, I'm just gonna let myself in.
Okay, yep. So I just see another use tech roll if you're wanting to try to salvage.
Is this also assisted or no?
Does Jason have any dice, like any actual skill points in use tech to indicate training versus just knowing a lot of general things?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. For the level of what you're doing, then, while Jason is super, super smart, he wouldn't be able to provide a bonus in this particular case. You're doing more of a programming level versus a search.
I figured that's why I asked. So.
I mean, if you give me 5 minutes in a book, I could go read it real fast.
That's a good one.
There we go. It'd be this. Okay. So, you are not able to descramble the or to repair the damaged parts of the blog. However, you do find a digital fingerprint due to the programming methods being employed for the yeah. The handle for the person who tried to scrub this to begin with is Shadow Fox 39.
Shadow Fox 39, you said?
Yep, Shadow Fox 39 is the fingerprint of the person who tried to hide and erase the blog's existence.
Well.
Shadow Fox 39. Because with that role, I'm also presuming you are doing, like, cross checks against, like, hacker databases for methodologies and such. Technically, that probably should have been an investigation role, but with how high that use tech was, I was just kind of throwing that in there. Yeah.
And just to make sure, we would need to scrub more in order to get the full invite, right?
Whoever tried to annihilate this blog from existence was good enough to damage it beyond a point that at least with that method that you used for the 38 was not able to recover the information for how to generate user codes. But you were able to get the digital fingerprint of the person who tried to hide this entire thing to begin with.
Let me check something real quick.
Now I'm thinking about the Transformers thing of what was it? Are you Super Lover 49?
Oh, from Free Guy, or was that something
No, from the
else?
first Transformers movie where they're looking for looking for Shia LaBeouf based on his eBay handle.
Yeah, you're right.
He's like, "Are you ladies' man?" Whatever it was.
Yeah, sure. You have the handle of the individual who tried to wipe this dark blog from existence.
Okay. I think I know how to recover this. Okay. In the dark, using the dark web, is there a way to contact Mr. Nick's Shadow Fox 39.
Because you have their handle and you're utilizing the dark web, yes, you should be able to make a request for contact.
Okay. The person that's trying to contact him is Luis Alves, a Brazilian cartel lieutenant.
I'm sorry, is that who you're trying to contact, or what you're using as?
Using as the cover.
Okay.
It's his alias.
Okay. Luis Alves is what he said.
Luis Alves, yes.
Okay.
I had to figure out which one makes sense.
Okay.
Yes,
am putting this
cover.
under Luis Alves. You said he was cartel.
Yep, a Brazilian cartel lieutenant.
Okay. I am just adding this. I have a note section on the experience chart, so I'm just putting it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. There'll be a little bit of a delay as connections are made and securing is set up. You will see a representation on the screen for the avatar as a more yellow and white anthropomorphic fox dressed in a stereotypical ninja garb.
Okay.
There will be there'll be a text that pops up next to the avatar. You wanted to make contact?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if you want to role play the whole thing, but effectively it's yes and throw. Yes. I see. Was trying to heard some whispers of performing heists online under discretion. Found an article, or one of his underlings found an article talking about it. Found it was scrubbed, but enough hearsay to say that Shadow Fox may have done it, and ask if they did do it, and if so, commend on the job, and offer what's this? Scheme.
You said something about an offer?
Yep. Offers 50,470 real, which comes out to $1,000 US dollars, for information on the invite, because they want to see professionals at work.
Okay. And to confirm, you said you were looking into this from the standpoint of wanting to perform heists?
Yes, he's interested. Louise is interested to see how others are doing it. He understands that modernization is very important, and staying with all the tread and true cartel ways is a good way to get stomped. So if you want to go for bigger fish, you have to do better nets.
Okay. Shadowflex 39 will appreciate the fact that you informed them that there were still blogs in existence, and that the Semmel's that Semmel's internet is excuse me. The Semmel's internet is not for sale for that for those uses, and is a secured system for a reason. If there is information other than assemblies that your boss would like to know about, Shadowfox 39 is more than happy to have you purchase that information.
Wait, purchase what information? I couldn't quite catch or understand what they're offering.
Basically, Shadowfox 39 is not willing to give up SMLS information for what sounds like criminal activities. But if you want information about other things, Shadowfox 39 is willing to have you purchase the information from themselves.
Just to test the waters, Louise doubles the amount, 10,000 real, $2,000. Or actually, no, he adds an extra 0 on it. It's like, it's down now.
Ooh.
This is more as test.
There's a pause on the other side on Shadowfox 39's side.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Jason is very much in the room, seeing all this. Like,
oh yeah, no, Jason's watching. Jason is waiting to see if this works out because I had another thought.
Okay.
So I have a backup alternative.
Okay.
They basically said, just to make sure I'm following, basically she said that we can't use it to do crime.
They're implying can't do not wanting to do it for crime, however doing other things possibly. So Haley sort of told you if they won't tell us, that's honestly kind of a good thing. But secondly, we could try seeing who's trying to use it. Just getting names at least.
I have an idea that we could go about it, because the basic concept of it is that they model places and allow them to be explored in the virtual world. Yes, but it's a completely private system.
From the information known thus far, yes.
Okay. So, what if we approach them? You could approach them as an underground person who has direct access to a very exclusive dig site in Greece.
Alias will raise a breath.
The dig site of, that's going to read to just make sure, the Grand Hall of the Gods, which is my big see, that's Jason's big find. That's what everyone knows Jason for.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
it's like a very private, like Jason, only a few people have access to the Garden of the Gods, or the Grand Hall of the Gods. So,
Makes sense.
if we were to approach them from the standpoint of, we can get you in to map it, but we want to see the tech first to make sure that it meets our standards, etc.
Okay. Makes sense.
The response to your increasing of the value does eventually come back to.
Mm-hmm.
Very tempting, but however, as said, Molas is meant for other uses. Also, Alias.
Mm-hmm.
Your freaking hey. Your connection is attempting to be traced.
Well, luckily, with our sponsor NordVPN, Alias doesn't have to worry about that. Anyways,
Just because, I mean, all we need to do is get our hands on the tech, right?
it's more of, from my understanding, if I'm doing this right, is that someone is using that invite to plan a heist of their facility.
Yes, but if we get our hands on the tech, we can get the information of users out of the tech. I mean, we're down to what, like 18 hours or so before the artifact lands?
Yeah, going through all this would have probably been an hour and change, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, well, we technically don't need it. We could always go without the knowledge of how they plan on pulling the heist off.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
This is all superficial.
Yep.
We already have me, who will be on the inside in the room with the artifact. The only issue is, well, I mean, you know what? I even have like hella fast speed now, so I can get in and out. I've gotten faster, by the way.
Probably.
Pauses and.
What are you talking about? You've always been this fast. You're okay.
Oh no. The gods very explicitly gave him more power. That is canon.
As Alias flushes the trace to essentially some location in Brazil, that would make sense.
Okay.
He'll I feel like, well, yeah. I was going to say Alias will tag an actual cartel base, but I don't know if he would actually know that something like that well. But
Do you want to counter trace?
yeah, counter.
Okay.
Use tech, I assume.
Yeah. Use tech to kind of redirect the oncoming trace, and then another use tech to implement your own trace.
Guys, I'm playing Netrunner.
Type. Do you have 2 keyboards for extra fast typing?
No, he doesn't need that. He has a secret Nero Jack that Jason didn't get first. Counter trace. And then the false trace. Jeez.
Okay.
Who's a good girl?
You are able to institute your own trace as to how effective your misdirect is. You'll just have to hope it worked, but you feel pretty confident about it. As for your counter trace, you are running into multiple misdirects, various simulated false systems. I'll let you know what the roll was. The roll to counter your trace was a 43. Ultimately, you are able to trace it through various locations in the world. Ultimately, to a dorm room at the Rolette City University. Was it Lunington University?
Oh wow!
Funny. Whoever they are, they're good. Every fucking
Jason, do we have the room number?
No, probably not that good. But if we have the IP address, we have
I mean, if it's plugged into the campus network, we have the room number.
possibly. But
If it's plugged into the Wi-Fi, we at least know which wing and which floor of the building.
I feel like the campus internet, based on my own experience with college internet, I feel like it would not be good enough internet for them to do what they've been doing for hacking. They probably have their own connection.
mhm. They're probably taking back the obstacles thing.
Starlink.
Share gear, rig their own thing. Well, yeah.
But even if it's
Due to comic book, I can give you the floor.
okay,
That's fair.
excellent.
Third floor. Third floor, the female dorm.
Oh.
Well, we are talking to Shadow Fox, which is we believe she's the magic user who had ransacked my office.
No, that's Blackfire.
Blackfire.
I think that's Blackfire.
Darkfire. But yeah.
Yeah, Darkfire.
Oh, for some reason I had it in my head that I was like, wow, she's just so obvious. No, cool. So,
So you do have enough information if you wanted to like go and find this person, you could.
Yeah, good.
And they
But,
clearly
yeah,
know
but-
about Semilez because they're refusing to give you information about it.
Mm-hmm. And based off of what Felix, or Felix can kind of tell. Can Felix get the vibe that they're kind of trying to protect the museum?
You can definitely get the vibe that they're trying to protect the integrity of the San Melos internet environment. And when I say protect, I mean like clearly it's like we do it for crime things, yeah, but I don't want it to be used for that. So protecting it in that sense. So it would not be much of a leap to go. They probably would want to stop it from being used for virtual heist planning.
Excellent.
So okay.
We simply cross-reference the list of students on that dorm, on that floor, with...
It's possibly easier than that, even.
Bro. It's not like we have a college student-aged guy who goes to this school on our team.
True.
I mean, you don't know he's college aged and on your team.
No. I know that is honest. That is honest reaction from Jason. He's like, I'm a professor, so I can't like go in the girls' dorm. Like, can you imagine the scandal? I would lose my tenure so fast.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
There's not many things I could do to lose my tenure, but that was one of them.
And I can't send you in as Felix, because if you go in the girls' dorm as Felix, it'll tie back to me. So, and we don't know Midnight's secret identity. We don't know Wolf Spider's secret identity. The only... Whoa. Oh, wait. Hold on. Doesn't Collateral have a college-age daughter?
You're not wrong.
I'm sorry for the fucking reach. Oh my god.
As a player, the answer to that is yes. You're not going to get Collateral to tell you this.
No, we know, because we had to go save her.
I thought they've met her.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm not going to remind you. Let me put it that way.
Oh yeah, no. That Jason knows. Jason said that out loud because Jason's now like trying to find someone who can go into the girls' dorm.
You know, there's actually an easier way than just...
You know, you have your own college-age daughters, plural.
Oh yeah, but Jessica does not know about that, and Nessa is technically high school aged, so we don't send her to college dorms.
And what makes you think you should involve the old man that does live, that is living in a profession where young men die, should have his daughter be involved?
Oh no, you don't have to have your daughter be involved. You can just go into the dorms. Say that you're there. Get your daughter to sign you in, and I mean, for all we know, it could be your daughter's roommate. Can I cross-check that? Is his daughter on that floor?
Oh my god.
You know what's even funnier? The possibility? It'd be hilarious if Shadowfox is actually his daughter.
You're going to have to convince me to do this. And I'm not going to just believe Felix.
Fine.
David, I would like to cross-reference to see if Collateral's daughter is indeed on that floor of that building. I know it's a long shot, but there's only one girls' dorm here, if I recall correctly.
Must be a very small campus then.
It is a very small campus.
Maybe he's on an overly expensive map.
I mean, I appreciate that, but only one dorm building? Really?
One for boys, one for girls, if I recall correctly.
I mean, realistically, VC only has one dorm building. They basically just... What is it, like lease out apartments?
I'd say VCU has more than one dorm building.
Yeah.
And they're fairly big.
They've also leased out apartments, but they also have more than one dorm building.
I thought they only had like 2 dorm buildings, and then they leased out a bunch of apartments.
No.
So yeah.
I was like, because even friggin' Sweetbriar, which is
David-
super tiny, had 3, 4 dorm
Yeah,
buildings?
no. They have more than 2 dorm buildings.
Yeah,
Like,
that's,
Yeah,
that's what
I
I said.
think like maybe 4 or 5 at this point.
we can drop this because I've already come to terms with the fact that David made it small. I already had my entire mental fit about it, and I came to terms with the fact and appreciate the fact that David made a map at all and has
to be
gone to
fair,
the effort of making this.
This is the map of one. This could just be the map of one campus. It's not implausible for them to have 2 or 3 campuses around town.
And
That's
Also-
true.
and also technically, Matt, he looks at Jason. I'm literally talking to them right now. I could just put this as something else completely.
You could just.
It would
Okay.
be
I mean,
funny. I'll say that.
Jason is going to pull out his phone and start looking to see if Collateral's daughter lives on that floor. It's a backup option in case you fail your rolls.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay. She does have a room assigned on that floor, but there's also a note that she does that. I say she. Let me use the actual name. Emil Stormrider has a room assigned to her there, but she also is noted as having an off-campus location as well. She is just paying the extra money to also have a dorm assignment.
I wondered because
That's not sus at all, David. I'm sorry.
Do you think that he's gonna look over at Felix and be like, do you think that Collateral knows his daughter lives off campus? Nah, we shouldn't tell him, should we?
Alias will shrug. Alias will shrug.
No, because then he's gonna think we were looking into his daughter, so we'll just leave it be.
Actually,
You
Alias,
might not like the results of it if he thinks that.
Yeah, that's
Alias doesn't respond to you because he's still looking at the screen with Resolvez. Okay, so this person was kind of willing to do criminal stuff, but not willing to compromise the museum, essentially. That's what Alias is reading from this. We will.
Could send Wolf Spider.
This is true, but I don't know how. Actually, you know what? I think I may have an idea. Check 1 2.
Yeah, what?
listening.
Okay, I either have 2 approaches, and I know it's getting late. And I want to actually move this along.
Actually want to accomplish something tonight, yeah.
Yeah, accomplish something. Okay, so two options. Option 1 is to either pretend to break the connection as Louise and have quote alias pop up in the chat and be like, thank you for your concern, Shadow Fox, for protecting the museum thing, and try to get information that way of like, okay, hey, we need access because of this reason, or hey, do you mind trying to scrub further because there are people actively trying to do a heist using that model? Come on. Or kind of ping to Shadow Fox, like, as proof of like being part and Alias as a friend. It's like look out the window when the wolf spider's right there, like, hey, hi, can I talk to you about keeping the community safe?
I do like the latter, because then it's your I can't think of the term that Tristan uses for neighborhood friendly.
Cordial community.
Cordial community.
Cordial community. He's really doing the whole cordial community thing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And it would involve another party member.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem against it with wolf spider.
If you want to try, clue me in, we can give it a go. Yeah.
Wolf spider has received texts about this.
Okay, so you're needing me to do what?
We might possibly affect the text. Basically, explains very quickly the situation of might have someone who knows on the inside, or might be able to either know what the heist plan is, or to screw up further and make their lives even worse. Because this person clearly has a vested interest in this. They turned down $10,000 for it.
Okay, so what? You need me to? Figure out who's got high-tech equipment in the dorms? What the?
Show them that we're show them that we're serious, because cordial community, Wolf Spider is on the case, and someone is trying to heist the museum.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hey. Okay, what are you asking me to do?
Sorry, my brain is getting confuzzled too. Oh boy. Okay.
You want me to say it, Greg?
Please do.
He is wanting Wolf Spider's help to find this person who is related to the hacking side of this whole heist thing. That's apparently been traced back to the girls' dorm at the university.
Okay, so that's what I thought, which is, again, confirming. He wants me to basically swing by the girls' dorm and see who's got way too much computer equipment.
No. Just go and watch all the windows and wait for someone to come to the window and look out. And then go swing to that window and be like, stop.
Both is essentially an option.
Okay,
We just need you to
because if you're looking for computer equipment, I feel like the Master of Lightning might be better at that, just because he can probably sense the equipment. But if I'm just looking for somebody to open a window and then go, yo, I can do that.
Yep. Thank you, Eric. Oh my god, brain.
I understood you wanted help. I just was unclear on what kind of help you were looking for. Okay.
Once again,
And you can also get your spiders on each side and literally look at all the sides of the building.
I mean, I could.
Assuming they haven't fumigated.
But that's peeping.
And also, after the horde of spiders, I imagine the head of the school, the university, is probably like, okay, we have a spider problem apparently.
Let's
not have our tuition be affected.
Worth of spiders in the area.
Okay, I just want you to know, the spider paranoia is not going to last forever. It's just, I imagine everyone would like, oh shit, for a little bit about it.
Yeah, I swung around for 5 hours collecting spiders, and it scared everybody, including myself. Yeah, I get it.
Everybody quietly said, that's way too many spiders. Okay, but yeah.
So, okay, you basically gonna do a message of look out the window kind of thing?
Yeah. Kind of drop the Louise act of, okay, not actually cartel, known as Alias and Roulette Bay, trying to help trying to help thing, heard rumors, da-da-da-da-da. Fine. Trying to stop it. If you don't believe me, look out the window.
Okay. We'll try to, provided that you're in the area doing the requested thing.
Mm-hmm.
You will see a
Wait, do you just leave me at the museum and
No,
go?
the museum thing would be happening after this, based on the timeline.
Oh.
We went back in time a little bit to catch up Matt and Greg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
there'll be a figure at one of the windows.
Okay, swing over and stick to the wall next to the window and just kind of like wave.
It is this individual.
Not even famous enough to be on Cameo yet. Hello.
I feel like we've seen her before.
Yes.
Isn't that your assistant?
No,
Is that my assistant?
that is not Rebecca
I
Matt.
didn't think
Okay.
so.
No, that's the person that I hired.
Oh, that's your assistant. It was somebody's assistant.
Oh, the tech whiz.
I probably know about this to some extent, and I'm just not knowing that it's tied to this yet.
Oh, you know that she was involved in some shady thing. Like,
Yeah,
not
and I
like,
looked into that, and I said, I don't care, just don't break the law.
Yeah.
Hi, somebody else's supporting cast.
That is distinctly what I said. Don't break the law, and I don't care what you do. That is... This makes so much more sense now.
This does. It's like, oh yeah, she could do that.
Hi?
So yeah, I'm told you're the architect of the blueprint they're using for planning the heist of ancient antiquities and shit.
Well, built a, well, there was a virtual reproduction made of the Agate Museum.
Hmm.
What about it?
Well, apparently, somebody, I don't 100% know how this works. They rented the space or are using the space to plan a heist or an incoming exhibit.
Well, huh. She'll wave you in through the window, like, a little absent-mindedly.
Around. It's awkward, creeping into.
Let's see. That was you will see well, you'll see a laptop bag just kind of on the bed, but on the desk is what is clearly a custom desktop computer. Has Justin ever made a custom computer rig, or how familiar is he with?
I mean, he's got average use tech, so I mean, he might have swapped apart occasionally. I doubt he's built in a whole new rig. He may have helped other people do it in the group do it, because I'm sure considering we got people He probably helped. Yeah, considering he does the music composition, he probably had help like putting together like a music machine.
So when you say average, you mean like literally 2D or?
Well, his knowledge is 2D plus 2, and he has 2D plus 2 in his tech. So slightly above average, I guess. So it's like,
Okay.
it's like he's not the tech guy in the band, but he does have some experience with.
Okay, in that case,
So he can probably recognize that is a custom build, even if he couldn't necessarily go, "That I know what that part is, and that part is, and that part is."
okay, it is a custom build. Yeah, that's about all I can tell. Oh, no, actually, no, I can't tell you this because it would have branding on it. Whatever the rig is, it is using liquid CPU cooling.
Which is enough to go, okay, that's really fancy.
Specifically the Corsair Hydro series. with RGB lighting.
Gotta have the RGB lighting.
There's a cup of coffee at her desk. The room clearly was not expecting guests. As like there's stuff tossed around in some areas, but she'll go over to her computer, initiate a kind of back-end access, and she'll be kind of talking as she's doing it. After that, I wasn't expecting a wolf spider. At least this tells me that whatever's going on, it's worth me helping out and not being too concerned that you know who I am. The spider's somewhat focused tone and the fact that she's kind of concentrating on what she's doing, you do get the sense that there's a little bit of nervousness, more so the fact that it's like there's someone else in her dorm room. But you're speaking, I have moderator rights for San Melas, so I can help you out here.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, there's a recreation of the Academic Museum in the looks like they built it in the jungle region.
Great place to stick them to.
She treasures things. There's she's a little puzzled for it, but yeah, there's Dave, I need to switch maps real quick just to confirm a thing. Confirming stuff. Yep. There are 4 users that have gone into that space. But they've blocked their names from the log. 1 second. Here, because I can access the sheet now.
I knew as soon as she said no to 10,000 real, I was like, white hat. I can appreciate that.
Huh. Okay, I can get one of the usernames there. It looks like they've increased their rights. One of the people you're looking for involved in this has the handle of Cyberface.
All right, you're looking for a cyberface.
I mean, given its the cordial community with Spider and his spectacular friends. I could set you up with the equipment to the equipment and logins to go in. Considering they're blocking the logs here, they wouldn't be able to block you from actually seeing it and interacting with them and send delays that could provide a bit more information. Or I don't know if you have like a big old criminal database or anything that you can just kind of look and identify people, provided that their avatars look anything like their actual selves.
I don't, but some of the people I'm working with might.
Okay, let me. No, that's the thing. I need to make Cyberface. There we go. Who is Cyberface? Okay, you're using use tech to look that. Okay. Okay. Okay, 1 second. That information would not be online. Okay, with that, Cyberface alias, from what you're able to find, is a genius level individual who, for a time, was attempting to make make robots to sell as soldiers in areas that were already governmentally destabilized. That, however, ultimately fell through. But you are able to find records of sales from a person who was going by Cyberface. With some more searching, you are able to find that that Cyberface kind of reemerged on the on the dark net, performing acts of cyber terrorism, and as the occasional occasional mention of if his genius could not be used to benefit others. In this case, again, the idea of him selling war machines. Then he would use his intellect to to improve upon himself, and to eventually leave the shadowy annals of the internet, and show show everyone the kind of mistake of refusing his genius in the first place. Those that come to accept him when he makes his emergence will be greatly greatly rewarded with technology and improvement, likes the which no one, not even Orb, has ever seen. This guy is not affiliated with the Organization of Originals or Bad Guys, at least as far as you can tell.
And this is also probably the first time where I'm seeing Orb.
Seeing it on paper, yes. I think we've heard reference to it before, though, because I think it came up during the Cryptid adventure.
I think Handwritten Aries made reference to Orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if we knew he was part of an organization at all. But to make life simpler for us all, he sends most of that info to Shadowfox. To Shadowfox 39. Once I assume Wolfspire tells it's like who that is. It's like, oh, I know her. she could be brought in on the weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that pops up on the message board that they're using. It's like, oh, we really are being there. It's like, so she says all that, and then at the end, psychological profile, cyberpunk psychosis.
Something your role would have also found out is that there is an unspecified vendetta against Professor James Lee.
An unspecified vendetta?
Yeah, it's out for Professor James Lee for some reason.
Boris, if assuming that you're still kind of looking over your shoulder,
Yeah.
Professor James Lee is a professor at the university.
In which department?
Computer engineering, has doctorates in AI. It's at this guy.
It's this creepy guy again.
Oh. He's the one who hired the band, isn't he?
I think so.
Yes,
Yes,
he is. And it is also Miss Waring's, aka Shadowfox 39's what's the term? Doctoral person.
The person she's studying under.
Yeah.
So yeah, just casually slide those that just pop in the chat unprompted. Just pop.
Sorry, I'm just laughing. So it's just like, it's like, man, so many things are tying back to the university. It's almost like it's a main location in this comic.
Ah.
It's kind of like seeing Horizon High all the damn time.
A parent sees their child's face for the first time. Oh, you have colored hair. I will die soon. Naruhodo.
And yes, Matt, Boris is aware that that the other teachers and professors do consider Professor Lee a bit odd.
So yeah, I guess you can arrange the credentials and stuff with the guy you've been talking to there. And
what about the peripheral equipment? Who do I send that to?
I don't know. Who does she send that to? I could come by and pick it up if I need to, or you have somewhere you want it dropped.
And how many do I need to get?
Message pops up. Give it to your boss. Collateral damage.
She's not going to type anything on the keyboard, but you can see her expression, Will Spider. That's a bit of a.
Just,
Hey, like it's like the expression is how does you know that? He's not supposed to know that.
it creeps me out when he does that too. We're gonna need 5.
Okay. Okay.
Collateral gets a text. Your nascent tech adept is going to hand you things. Prepare for heist.
I'm literally just going to put God damn it, Felix! Why can't we have a normal month?
Because the roulette ever spins.
Oh, I like that. If you had a
I will
wiki,
go
that would be a
over
quote.
there then. I assume I'm going to find one of you bastards there. Roping me into heists. I don't do heists. I deal with organized crime.
Or yes, organized crime against a magical artifact that shows magical ley lines and has the profile of at least one high-level dark internet user who possibly has cybered up themselves to be highly dangerous.
I'm sorry, you came across the river. You now deal with whatever you need to deal with.
That's why I was living in Serena.
This is actually
Also-
my response. Why did I move here?
Also, did you know that your daughter has an apartment on the other side of town?
Yes, because we confirmed this is not his daughter.
If I hear Jason say that, I'm going to get very quiet and just say,
this is
better
over.
give me proof, or you're dead by the end of the week.
It was over text, yeah.
Yep, it was over text.
Good!
Jason. And it wouldn't take much to get you proof. I literally have access to the university records. I can literally show you in the university where it says that she lives in an apartment off campus.
Check the records, like, oh wait, that's my house.
It's like, why are you keeping 2 locations? I learned it from you!
It would be more of the, why are you wasting money having the campus then? You think my money just grows on trees? I'm not Midnight just stealing everything.
As
The government
someone
might
who
write me blank
has,
checks, but my checks aren't that big.
I get money.
So I swing off to meet Midnight, do our a round of stuff there at the museum. By the time we're done with that, the peripherals and shit should be ready.
And I guess I have all to go collect these things from the college now.
Hi, boss.
The thing Alias would have texted to Collateral is, "I'm sorry, do you not want to deal with a possible war criminal?"
God damn it. You just know what is going to make me actually give a shit, Alias.
Yeah, wait till I actually meet the guy. They're gonna have him shout out, some quotes.
How
How
are you involved in this?
Doesn't live on campus.
How are you involved?
How are you involved in this? Why are you involved in this? You're going to explain that, please, later. I need the things that my friend told me you had for this apparent heist.
Okay.
Counter.
Plot twist. We sent Collateral in to get the goods from the girl anyway.
You
Just not into the girl's dorm.
I mean, considering you hired her, I imagine she could, go to where you are and give you the stuff, collateral. But
I'm at the museum in my car. I'm just going to drive to the doors room and say, I need to see this person, please.
okay, the exchange will happen. You're given a multiple sets. That's composed of visor equipped helmet, and gloves that have thick rings along the on the bottom part around the wrist. They clearly are trying to click and lock into place. There's kind of Tron lines along the gloves and the gloves and the helmet.
Okay. I'm just going to look at this, and I'm just going to sigh.
It's for what it's worth. It's the latest model.
Why am I trying to stop a heist in a video game? Oh my lord. I'm going to strangle Felix.
I'd like to think it's a bit more than a video game, but okay.
It's a VR world. It's a video game. These are things I don't know. I'm 46 years old, dear. You need to understand this. I don't do
You
tech.
played Atari, right?
Yes?
It's like that, but hands-free.
I'm just going to give her this look of, I don't want to deal with this right now. So now I'm going to go get the other people that I know will actually be able to deal with this.
The worst part is
good luck.
he's 46. He's 46 years old, so he was probably a teenager when the N64 was out. So for her to go, you played Atari.
Actually, no, the Nintendo 64.
Just like 38 years old, dude.
Just so
Just not. No.
what would have been obvious
Wait.
to Low Spider is from being in her room. She's a gamer.
As he'd be David, 1 year older than David and I. He's, he was been born in '86.
We're 37.
Wait, hold on.
So he's 1 year older.
I thought you said it was 49 though.
Oh, 49.
Yeah, I'm 46.
He's 46.
So yeah, he definitely, that would be the Atari era.
Yeah, that's the Atari era. That's Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo came out when he was in his,
Yeah, the Nintendo would have been college.
college.
Okay,
Super
yeah.
Nintendo was the 90s.
He was 18 when the Super Nintendo was released.
And then the Super Nintendo
So,
64 was late 90s.
Sorry, not Super Nintendo. He was 18 when the N64 was released.
Mm.
That can
Assuming
damn.
we're going with 2024 year.
But
Yeah, that just tells us how old we are.
I know, right?
Yeah.
No, you know what tells us how old we are? A particular person that, is going to be getting the capacity to drive.
Yeah.
That says how old we are.
His birth is closer to when the N64 was released than now.
Okay. So, you have the equipment. I do want to, since this has been kind of out of the loop this entire time, I kind of want to see what Nessa is doing and get Nessa up to speed.
Yep. I shall.
Nesta is completely lost at this point. I have no clue what the hell is going on. So,
Well, I'd definitely be bringing her up to speed. I was like, okay. So we know they're hitting the museum. We found a way to go into the video game. They're casing the droid in. So we're now going to chase them into the video game to try and... I'm not quite sure what the plan is once we're in there. Because again, you can't really stop them in the internet and then prevent them from just waking up and doing it anyway.
Sure we can.
It's called killing them.
Well, as I said, I was not going to stop you guys from just waiting for them to actually enact their plan. You'd have no knowledge of their plan, but
So the point of going in is to do recon.
So we can do this with two teams. We can have a team go in to the video game and do recon, and then simultaneously, because this is an offline system, it's a closed circuit system, yes?
it was phrased as an intranet. So
Intranet.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we simply slap a hand on it, do some machine interface shit, and track back the locations of the other users and get them while they're in the game.
But again, we're getting them doing what? They haven't done anything illegal.
Fair.
Conspiracy too.
But then we know
We can't bust them on conspiracy. We're not licensed by the law.
That's fair.
We can only bust them in the act.
Hold up. Do you tell me this idea?
Yeah,
Please tell me this idea.
Yeah, I tell you this idea. We can put tracking on them and shit.
Oh my god, Olympus, I already like you a lot more. What happened in these last 2 weeks? While I've been gone. That was an amazing idea.
oh, get back here.
That's actually
phone
evil.
balance.
I like it.
Again,
Did you
so
say it's
your plan
evil?
is to grab a bunch of people that haven't done anything wrong yet.
No, we're not going to grab them. We're going to track them. We're putting them on a watch list.
I guess, but we know where they're going to be. We don't need to watch them.
Yes. But in case in case they catch us in the game, stalking them, then we have a backup plan of going, hey, they can discuss and change the plan and be like, hey, we also have this other plan. We're going to implement now because
I think the fact is we can workshop this next time.
Yes.
I guess this is getting unnecessarily complicated.
Again, there's multiple ways and avenues that this can be done.
Yeah, I apologize.
I will straight up say, for instance, waiting for them to actually perform the real heist is an option. There is a downside to that, however. In that they would have all kinds of preparatory bonuses and such. The show itself has a number of ideas itself of what to do, but I can't necessarily reveal those, which one would be spoon feeding.
Yeah,
I'm totally lost, so I might need some spoon feeding, but they seem to have a plan, so...
Okay.
I
mean,
have no idea what's going on.
We send in Nessa, Wolf Spider, and Alias into the game to figure out what their plan is. Because Nessa is the thief, Wolf Spider is the, oh yeah, we can thwart that this way, this way, this way. And Alias is the inside tech guy who can go, yeah, we can do this, this, this. In the meantime, outside the game, I use machine interface, track back where their physical locations are, and Collateral and I go do recon.
Figure out their identities so we can then track them and build a case to basically give us a reason to arrest them.
And yeah, we might even find something like, obviously they were on a website. I don't know this. This is out of character. They were on a website looking for thief stuff. We might find evidence of other crimes they committed and get them locked up beforehand.
Well, you see, the problem there is we're citizens. We can't do that kind.
You can make citizens arrest them.
Yeah, well, no, we can make citizens arrest. My point
Collateral
is, citizens
Collateral
arrests
probably can.
don't work on the idea of, oh, they were doing shady shit, we have probable cause. Citizens arrests only work when you catch them in the act.
Collateral, like,
I'd
Collateral has
like
government
to
contacts
interject
and
something
shit.
real quick just before Greg leaves, so I can get everyone. For those that are going into San Malas, that is the moment where you can, through the perspective of a virtual avatar, reconfigure your abilities and such.
No, hey.
That's why I've been saying these past couple of weeks of, hey, well, there's one of these upcoming missions, you're going to have the completely voluntary optional thing of reserving your abilities if you want to play with new stuff. And this is it, because you're going into a simulated environment to where if you wanted to as players, you could experiment with some different builds, different power builds. Yeah, I didn't mean to know if you're planning, but I realized that again. I think Greg was going to be leaving really soon, so I just wanted to make sure everyone is aware of that, since there's now more time if people opt to, to do that kind of thing. But yeah, you can carry on with your planning if you'd like.
And again, it sounds like planning is next session, so...
Okay.
But yeah, for what it's worth, I am so sorry that this has gotten more convoluted than I thought, because I thought it was just...
Yeah,
I don't know.
The scenario in concept is kind of very kind of straightforward, and again, campy with the idea of the virtualness. And as you mentioned, yes, somehow it seemed to get really complicated.
Well, again, the adventure wants you to go into the virtual world and deal with the problem in there. The problem is we, are trying to do it in a million different other ways also.
Well, again, the scenario actually says you don't have to go into the virtual world, because if you're aware that that's their planning phase and they're going to strike, you could just wait for them, but then they would have...
I get that. I'm just saying the problem is we're attacking it from way too many vectors, which has made it super complicated.
Okay.
Because the scenario's like, you can either go into the digital world or you wait for them. We're like, no, we're going to go into the digital world, we're going to hack them, and we're going to wait for them, and we're going to gather evidence, and we're going to do this, versus just picking one and committing.
I mean...
The issue is, how would going into the virtual world stop them from doing the thing anyways?
It doesn't
even
stop,
if their planning gets fucked up.
No, that's what the thing is. Going into the digital world doesn't stop them, but it prevents them from getting their planning bonuses.
And it would also give you intelligence on what you'd be facing.
It's purely recon and intelligence gathering. It's not actually to stop them.
Yeah. Now, the scenario just has a few suggestions on how you guys can throw wrenches into things, but again, I'm just letting you know that there are options if people think. But
Sounds like Greg, you need to go. So good night, Greg.
Yeah.
But there's literally...
Right, sorry.